Not so very long ago, nobody thought it was even possible to run the Upper Yough.
Dave and Dan Demery pretty much bridged the dark ages of Upper Yough river running with modern times. They brought a lot of people down here, showed a lot of people the way, helped a lot of people survive. Back in those days, I used to say there was two ways to run the Upper Yough. One was to go on your own with your usual gang of boating buddies and plan on losing a boat, plan on hiking out through the rattlesnake-infested countryside, or go down with the Demery brothers.
When I started running the Upper Yough in 1971, my sense was there were no more than 40 or 50 people that had run it at all.
I think the legends and stories had kept a lot of people off of it, and plus the plastic boats didn't exist. So if you weren't skilled, you figured you're going to trash your boat.
Ohiopyle was sort of downtown Whitewater City. That was a destination and sort of the hub for that region. But Sangaron and Friendsville were way out there. They were down country roads, out in the middle of no place.
Most of the guys who did the river regularly were people who worked either for Wilderness Voyagers or Mountain Streams and Trails.
We try to coordinate it with several of the other guides and make a trip over to the Upper Yough.
We were all improving our boating just by doing it so much, and over here was a way to do it.
When Wildwater West Virginia book came out, it had an account that said the raft guides in Ohiopyle run this on their day off every week. If you want to run, call Dave or Dan Demery.
People would come to the Wilderness Voyagers store and camp out waiting for everybody to gather so they could tag along and go.
And I would wind up taking groups of people down from Michigan, from New England, from all over. Every week, once a week, I was taking groups of people down.
There was always a buzz about that. It was a big deal.
During that period of time, we saw the Upper Yough sort of gain in popularity. We started seeing more and more people coming, vans showing up with people.
At the time where Pizzeria Uno is now was a thing called the Glen Haven Pizza Pub. And we'd go there and drink beer and have pizza. And of course in the summer they had a little honky-tonk guy playing the piano or a little folk band singing, and it would turn into a pretty loose evening because here are these young guys full of adrenaline having just had a wonderful day on this piece of water, and you feed them a little alcohol and a little food, and hey, there's girls here too, So that was a typical Upper Yough day every Wednesday. So that went on for years.
When I started the sport, it was really early when a lot of the sport was based on kayak clubs. And a lot of them would sponsor races and go attend other races. And that's basically the structure of the sport. With the onset of raft guides and guiding, then a different culture developed where the top skilled paddlers weren't racing anymore. They were working at Ohiopyle and working on the raft trips. And then they started discovering creeks. It was a paradigm shift in the sport.
It was a fantastic period of adventure and exploration in kayaking. We went far and wide and running bigger and bigger drops.
Because this is the dawn of creeking. This is when the real small creeks were getting opened up. The 200 plus feet per mile, like we did Quarry Run, is 686 feet per mile. We did that in '77. And even though Phil almost got killed on that run.
I took a boat that was in pretty good shape, and it was 100% destroyed by the end of that trip, a couple hours later. The sheer adrenaline rush of being out there on these steep rivers and creeks at high water with your best friends who you knew were capable of taking care of themselves and really just laying it out on the line was many, many unforgettable moments in my life.